The call came just as the snow started falling, thin, quiet flakes dissolving against the window like thoughts I'd tried too long to suppress. Her voice was shrill, excited, rehearsed. "Come quickly," my mother-in-law said. "We have someone for your wife to meet. Someone. Not something. Not news. Someone." I didn't speak. I simply stared at the blinking call ID, feeling a slow, familiar chill spread through my chest, the kind you get when the world shifts an inch and suddenly stops making sense. When I arrived at their decorated Christmas dinner, lights too bright, smiles too wide, I sensed it immediately. The air held a tremor, a secret vibrating beneath stale holiday cheer. Then she said it. "This is your wife's new husband." My wife looked at the floor. Her mother smiled, triumphant. "You contribute nothing to this family. Pack your things and leave." I felt the room tilt. Not from shock, but from the stunning clarity that comes when truth finally stops hiding. I smiled, soft, slow, surgical. "The house," I said, "and the company are in my name, not hers." Silence flooded the room. Someone dropped a fork. Her mother's jaw twitched. My wife's face drained to a pale, guilty gray. Outside, the snow kept falling. Inside, everything froze. I said nothing more. I didn't need to, because that was only the beginning. Looking back, the signs had been there long before Christmas. Small things. Light fractures in a glass I kept polishing, convincing myself it wasn't breaking. The late-night calls she took on the balcony. The spa weekends that felt too long, too quiet. The sudden hostility from her mother. The way she criticized everything I did, everything I didn't do. I chalked it up to stress, marriage fatigue, misunderstandings that would fade. But the real fracture came weeks earlier, on Thanksgiving. My daughter-in-law called, her tone sharp enough to cut. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes first." It wasn't just disrespect, it was positioning, hierarchy, a rehearsal for exclusion. I replied with a single word. I hung up, calm, detached. Her reaction came the next morning, 71 missed calls after I posted a single set of photos. My villa in Switzerland, the one no one in the family knew existed. 71 calls. The number said more than her words ever could. They cared, suddenly. They needed, suddenly. And need reveals truth. Need exposes greed. Still, even then, I didn't confront anyone. Not my wife, not her mother, not my suddenly apologetic daughter-in-law. I just watched, silently, because silence is the purest form of truth. Suspicion is a quiet poison, slow, patient, dissolving everything from the inside. I lived with it for months, acting normal, smiling when required, listening when spoken to. But inside, I took notes, patterns, time gaps, receipts hidden in coat pockets, her sudden obsession with self-care, all conveniently aligned with his business trips. I didn't accuse her. Accusations are emotional. I preferred evidence. So I checked phone records, carefully, methodically, deleted messages, unnamed contacts, late-night FaceTime logs stamped with midnight shadows. Still, I played the part of the oblivious husband. Morning coffee together, polite compliments at social gatherings. Even her mother's snide comments slid off me like snow on glass. Because strategy demands patience. I tracked transactions. I pulled company logs. I watched her lie with the ease of someone who thinks she has already won. And the more she lied, the calmer I became. Calmness, I realized, is what terrifies guilty people most. It was almost poetic. How confident she grew, how careless, how she assumed weakness on my part simply because I didn't fight. She didn't know I wasn't fighting. I was observing. And no one escapes observation. The final step was quiet, clinical. A private investigator. A DNA kit. A screenshot of a hotel booking for two. A chain of messages between her mother and the man she introduced as my wife's new husband. Everything aligned, everything pointed in one direction. So I waited for the moment when truth would stop whispering and start screaming. The report arrived on a gray morning, thin envelope, heavy truth. Inside, photos, timestamps, receipts. Her hands on his, her lips on his, her mother watching approvingly. I stared at them for a long, still moment. Not angry, not surprised, just done. When she walked into the kitchen complaining about the weather, I placed the file calmly on the table. "What's this?" she asked. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. She opened it. Her breath hitched. Pages trembled. Her eyes flinched from image to image, each one carving her denial into fragments. You followed me?" "No," I said quietly. "I confirmed you." She covered her mouth. Tears rose, sharp, frantic. Her mother barged in moments later, ready to defend, ready to manipulate, until she saw the open file. Her voice cracked mid-sentence. The irony tasted sweet. They fell apart. I didn't move. Their collapse was a private performance meant only for them. My silence was the audience. I didn't shout, I didn't insult, I didn't even raise my voice. I simply walked to the living room, retrieved a single document, and placed it beside the file. Property deeds, company shares, everything in my name. Her mother's face drained immediately. You tricked us?" "No," I said. "You assumed." My wife sobbed harder, clutching the evidence like it might somehow undo itself. I watched her desperation spread, unfiltered, animalistic. Then I delivered the final cut. "You wanted me gone," I said softly, "but you never realized this was never your house to expel me from." The room collapsed into silence. Cold, absolute. They begged then. Promises, apologies, frantic explanations. None of them touched me. Because betrayal isn't undone by regret. It is revealed, then punished. I left that night, not because they forced me, because they couldn't anymore. I walked out with nothing but my coat and a clarity I hadn't felt in years. The air outside was sharp, cold, honest. Snow fell again, quiet, cleansing. Their calls came for days. I didn't answer. For the first time, I felt the world settle into its proper shape. Not restored, not healed, just true. And truth is enough. When people show who they are, you don't correct them, you leave. And as I watched their numbers fade into silence, I realized something dark, simple, final. I hadn't lost anything. I had only removed what was never mine.